Hi, gorgeous lights. Welcome to the new day. Look, I just wanted to flick up and an update that Spirit has also asked me to do. So at the moment where we actually are on the planet, so in terms of energies, and there's a lot going on. So sorry, I'm trying to condense it down into understandable terms. Um, so for years and years and years, our planet has actually absorbed all these energies from all these different lifetimes, all these different eras, absolutely everything. So what it's doing right at the moment, and Spirit had said to me when all of this started back in 2019, that there would become a point where the planet would kind of shake itself, and it would actually unearth basically all of these old energies, and we would have to transmute those energies through our human form to actually clear the energies as well. And there would be a great divide to do with this as well. Now, I love it when they show me things in advance and I go, oh, that'll be interesting to see how that plays out. And then as we get closer to it and we're actually living it, I'm like, oh, it's actually bigger than what I thought it was. So literally at the moment, so you think of our planet and she's shaking herself, Gaia, she's beautifully shaking herself to say, I don't want to hold on to these energies anymore. So they're basically like, control energies, manipulation energies, coercion energies, Holocaust, genocide, all of those sort of energies she just doesn't want to hold on to anymore because we're actually heading into the new era, which is, unity and peace, love and harmony, age of Aquarius. This is really big picture stuff that I'm talking about as well. But how it actually affects us also, because we are transmuters of the energy, and most people that are on the planet have had many, many lives before, we literally have to process all that energy through us into lots and lots and lots of different layers to actually decide who we want to be in our realness going forward in time. So all of that process clearly doesn't happen just like that. So we have to actually, depending what country we're in, depending what temperament we are, all of those sort of things actually come into play on a very, very individual basis, and I really do need to be quite clear about that. So what we're actually having happen right at the moment, and Spirit has said to me, you'll be at the bottom of the world, and you'll be watching, all of these different plays that actually play out as we actually go along. So fast forward to where we are right now, which is perfect. So if we understand, how a lot of people are saying to me, oh my word, I'm just on like this roller coaster of emotions, and a roller coaster of emotions. 1 minute I'm up, 1 minute I'm down, one all over the place, and I don't know where it actually is coming from. So as you're transmuting energies through yourself, what will happen is you will get triggered by some past life stuff that you've carried with you, childhood stuff that you've carried with you, community-based stuff, family-based stuff. Everything on that layering can have a ability to actually be triggered in this energy as well. So as we're working through it on a daily basis and transmuting it, bearing in mind here as well, everybody has different evolutionary stages that they're actually at as well. So as we're transmuting this energy, we can find that we go into really intense annoyance, like, oh, for goodness sake, slap, everybody get over it and move on with what we're actually supposed to be doing, to, oh, I feel this overwhelming grief and this overwhelming melancholy, to, I don't want to be trapped and I don't want to be tired and I don't want to be told what to do. We can be ping-ponging all over the place as we're transmuting the energies. Now, because these are deeply entrenched energies that have been in Gaia, our beautiful planet, for such a long period of time, they're really coming up in waves. So it's really coming up and needing to be transmuted through us as well. So when lots of people talk about holding your light, making sure that you're actually, are focusing on the unity, which is something that you'll hear me talking about a lot, it's because we're also trying to actually, on the planet at the moment, navigate through these shifting and changing energies to actually head towards who we actually need to be, heading towards the other side of this as well. And so we're sitting on a great divide right at the moment between what we know society is and the suffering to do with that, or how we live to do with that, into almost like what Spirit calls a great unknown, which is how do we reform ourselves in a better way, because we don't know what that is, and that's adding a huge amount of confusion as well. So because our societal programming says that we should actually listen to an authority figure, and we've had that actually programmed into us for quite a long period of time, every country does look to its leaders to actually say, how are you going to deal with it? How are you going to navigate with it? And one thing that I have been noticing, and I've got people all over the world and I've been talking quite a lot to people, is I do notice that we have a tendency to forget with our doctors, scientists, world leaders, that they're actually ordinary human beings trying to do the best that they can with their own thought processes, with their own understanding, and with their own programming that they've got in their own lives as well. So when we're kind of stepping back and going, but somebody else should know what to do, then we're somebody who's more adultio that should be making these decisions. I think at the end of the day, we also, Spirit is saying, we need to be really, really mindful that this is unprecedented in terms of our current era, to know what the best way is to navigate through this as well. And I've had to look at this quite a lot and see where I get pulled in one direction or where I get pulled in another direction, my own issues, my own family's issues, all of those sort of things will come into play. So they keep saying to me, remember while all of this process is going on, and it is a process, for each step we get a little bit more understanding. For each step we get a little bit more wisdom. And we're only getting that as we're transitioning through to understand what actually does suit us and what doesn't suit us. So it's a time to be really, really compassionate with each other. And it's a time to be really, really mindful of what's actually happening and what's actually going on as well. So planetary cycle, I think I may have mentioned before, and this exactly the same planetary alignment as 1918, which was the Spanish flu, and literally how the Spanish flu actually ended as it traversed the entire globe until there was no more hosts. So at the end of the day, we do have a same, I think it's about 15, 16 months of the same trajectory, and basically at the end of the day, that's how viruses stop. That's literally how they stop, is that there's no more hosts. That's the way it works. So I think it's really, really important at this time when Spirit asked me to do this video, just to let you know, those who are interested in what's actually happening from their perspective, filtered through me. Please understand that there's lots of other different ideas. We've each got their own Play-Doh and how they actually filter through. But this is what we are navigating right at the moment. And they ask you to be really, really careful about judging a situation, knowing that most people that are on the planet, they're trying to do their lives the best that they can. They're trying to listen to an avenue or find an avenue that resonates with them. Some are in that camp, some are in that camp, some are in that camp. At the end of the day, there is each person negotiating their own way through it. The one thing that Spirit keeps reminding us of is we are in this together. We're actually not against each other. We are in it together. Their sorrow, and seriously, they keep radiating it towards me, their sorrow is that we are not saying that, and it's not human beings against each other, it is actually us against an invisible entity that kind of, and I'm going to call it entity because I'm sick of everybody waving the virus and this and pro and anti and all those awful, awful terms, which shows that we've actually just a little bit lost the plot about what's really important here. We're all on the same planet. We all have the same issue heading towards us. It's a 3-year well-being stretch on the planet to get us to see that we need to look after each other. And I really think we need to bring it back to that. We're looking at a little pathogen, and we should be focusing on how we navigate through this rather than beating each other up for what they're not doing or what they're not doing. And I think probably at the end of the day, Spirit has said to me, nobody wins this. And in the end, you're still all in it together, and there's no right or wrong way of actually doing things. And I really, really keep getting incredibly saddened that people actually can't see that we're actually in this together. So part of this video is also asking you, and I seriously am asking you, please have empathy for your fellow man, full stop. you're on the planet, we're in this together. The rising energies are pulling some people towards this dreadful hatred and this dreadful judgment, and it's really an old, bitter energy that's being shed by the planet, and the key is it's rising. So it's rising. As it rises, it does go past and through us, and then as a collective, we do have to look at our actions and how we turned up during this period of time. We're all going to have to live with that. So I suggest at this period of time that we look at how we bring this back to unity, which is what Spirit keeps saying to me. Compassion, unity, you're all in it together. Help your fellow man. Be a listening ear. Provide some reassurances. Don't look too far out in the future. At the moment, things are rapid fire changing. We have a very interesting next 2 months around us, and we have a complex next 6 to 8 months. But it keys on how you actually turn up. When you turn up as you, beautiful you, with your faith and your hope and your sensitivity to your fellow man, you raise collective consciousness. You just do. When you sit in a fear-based aspect of what could happen tomorrow when you're not even there yet, and what's going to happen over there, or who should that person be doing, and they should be doing that, you are losing sight of the fact that you're actually not living your life by doing that. You're not enjoying the celebration that every single day that dawns so beautifully is a gift for you. You are focused too far ahead from where you are right now as well. Make the decisions in the now for you. Make the decision to turn up in compassion with your fellow human beings, loving them just the way that they are, not expecting them to be right or wrong, because it isn't about that. It's about looking after each other in this time frame, and knowing that we have a decision about how we do that, because we can control that. And that's the bottom line. You can control how you turn up every single day as well. And I really, really just wanted to come on to actually remind people of that as well, because the amount of people when I go out and I just talk to them like they're a beautiful, amazing human being, and there's a little bit of relief in that as well, because everybody is walking around almost like they've got post-traumatic stress disorder, because we're so highly sensitised and we're so over-magnetised in the energy towards any reaction, any hostility, any judgment, any blame. It's not helping us. Rise above it, hold your light, and know that this is temporary. And I just ask you to consider that. Please take care of you. You're so special. You're on the planet at this time to be a part of the choices that we're making going forward. And as changes, challenges and choices energy, it's 100% that. And it's going to come down to the individual choices that people have to actually see that we're actually all in this together. And I hope we can, and I'm working towards that, and I know that every single person that's trying to do that, you do make a difference. It's important you know that. I'm telling you, you make a difference. Keep shining gorgeous lights, and look after you.